morning, everybody, and happy Easter to you. I hope that you have really enjoyed this week reading through the Jesus Storybook and Kevin DeYoung's book with Savannah yesterday about the story of Jesus's week being betrayed and being given over to the officials and crucified and how he died for our sins. But the story does not end there. And today we're going to read the best part of all. So if you have a Jesus Storybook Bible, feel free to turn with us to page 310. This is also found in the scriptures in Matthew 28, Mark 16, Luke 24, and John 20. Well, Jesus' friends were sad. They would never see their best friend again. How could this happen? Wasn't Jesus the rescuer? The king God had promised? It wasn't supposed to end like this. Yes, but whoever said anything about the end? Just before sunrise on the third day, God sent an earthquake and an angel from heaven. When the guards saw the angel, they fell down with fright. The angel rolled the huge stone away, sat on top of it, and waited. At the first glimmer of dawn, Mary Magdalene and the other women headed to the tomb to wash Jesus' body. The early morning sun slanted through the ancient olive trees, drops of dew glittering on leaves and grasses. Little tears everywhere. The friends walked quietly along the hilly path through the olive groves until they reached the tomb and immediately noticed something odd. It was wide open. They peered through the opening into the dark tomb. But wait, Jesus' body was gone. And something else. A shining man was there with clothes made from lightning. Don't be scared, the angel said, but they couldn't help it. They screamed anyway. The angel asked them, "What are you doing here? This is a tomb, and tombs are for dead people." The women couldn't speak. "Jesus isn't dead anymore," he said. "He's alive again." And their hearts leapt. And then the angel laughed with such gladness that they felt for the moment as if they had awoken from a nightmare. The other women rushed home, but Mary stayed behind. How could it be true? Jesus was definitely dead. How could he be alive? Just then, Mary heard someone else in the garden. Perhaps it's the gardener, she thought. He'll know where Jesus' body is. "I don't know where Jesus is," Mary said urgently. "I can't find him." But it was all right. Jesus knew where she was, and he had found her. Mary. Only one person said her name like that. She could hear her heart thumping. She turned around. She could just make out a figure. She shaded her eyes to see and thought she was dreaming. But she wasn't dreaming. She was seeing. Jesus! Mary fell to the ground. Sudden tears filled her eyes and great sobs shook her whole body, and all she wanted in that moment was to cling to Jesus and never let him go. "You'll be able to hold on to me later," Mary, Jesus said gently, "and always be close to me. But now, go and tell the others that I'm alive." Mary ran and ran all the way to the city. She had never run so fast or so far in all her life. She felt she could have run forever. She didn't even feel like her feet touched the ground. The sun seemed to be dancing and gleaming and bounding across the sky, racing with her and shining brighter than she could ever remember in the clear, fresh air. And it seemed to her that morning, as she ran, almost as if the whole world had been made anew, almost as if the whole world was singing for joy. The trees, tiny sounds in the grass, the birds, her heart. Was God really making everything sad come untrue? Was he making even death come untrue? She couldn't wait to tell Jesus' friends. "They won't believe it," she laughed. She was right, of course. Well, that is definitely the best story ever. Reading how Jesus defeated death and was raised again from the dead 3 days after he died. And I want you to have something to help you remember this story. So if you are able to find a piece of white paper, a ruler, and a pencil and some crayons or a Sharpie, then you should be able to do our little craft. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your ruler and your pencil and you're going to make a cross. So all you're going to have on your white piece of paper right now is a cross. And then if you want to find a black crayon or a black Sharpie, then what I did was I just outlined my cross in black so that it will stand out against the paper. I'm just going to do this real fast so you can see what it'll look like. Of course, you guys can take your time at home. So you're going to have a cross on the page with some black, either crayon, marker, Sharpie, something like that, just to help distinguish it. And then you're going to take your ruler, and all you're going to do, using your black marker or crayon, you're just going to make little lines. From the outside of the cross to the edges of the paper, however you want to do it, it's totally up to you. Just be creative and make however many lines you want and whatever directions that you want. And I'm just going to do a couple here on this side so that we can keep going. Once you have all of the lines that you want, then you're just going to take your crayons, whatever colors you want, and you're going to color inside the lines. Just like that. And then when you're done, you're going to have something that's going to look something like this, however you drew your lines. So really you're just taking your crayons or your markers or your colored pencils, whatever you want to use, and you're coloring in between the lines that you drew on with your ruler on your white paper surrounding the cross. And this is just going to be a helpful reminder for you of what Jesus did for you. And hopefully it will help you remember the stories that we've read this week. And I just want to thank you guys for listening. I know that Savannah, Miss Kim, Miss Cassie, and myself have had an excellent time reading with you this week. And if you need anything, feel free to reach out to us at any time. Your parents can find us on Facebook or even send in a message, a text message. If they have our phone numbers, you can reach out to us anytime. But know that we love you and that we're praying for you. We miss you and we cannot wait to see you. I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed Easter with your family. Love you guys. Bye.